everyone, and welcome to our educational session. My name is Paul Arsov, and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web Project. I'm going to talk about our project and several other projects that we're working on in the end of this presentation. But the topic today of this educational session is scenarios for upcoming AI development, from optimistic to apocalyptic. The topic touches on psychology and also on technology and the rapid development of the field of artificial intelligence. So if we look at it, we can see that lots of people are in denial about the artificial intelligence. If one looks at the responses of some articles about apocalypse, many of the responses are actually dismissive. Like some examples are, like for example, the end is near, always sells. Or productive improvement does not cause economic collapse, it causes the opposite. Or like get a real job, you writer of this article, you know who is going to replace by AI first. It's probably your job. Actually, most responses were thoughtful and not dismissive, but people are starting to see what is happening, or at least wondering about it. There are holdouts who either do not understand how human level AI is different from prior productivity improvements, or do not want to actually think about it or face it. So we think that some people dismiss it because they think that AI is just a clever software, but it is not. AI is not software. And we are explaining this in this article and presentation. Some responses are actually not dismissive, but they're trying to figure out what action to take. Like, for example, one response says, stockpile toilet paper and guns. You think this would help? But what can be actually done? Is there a way to prevent widespread unemployment and collapse of our economy globally? We do not know yet, but in order to decide what we should do now, we have to map out how things might unfold. So let's try to do this in this presentation. So what is the possible stages of AI in the next 5+ years? So we could describe levels of evolution that we anticipate over the next 5 to 10 years. These levels are like just conjectures and hypothetical scenarios. Other may come up with different lists, but starting with lists like this is necessary to see where there are forks in the road, to use the phrase that recently was used by Elon Musk, who most people are not fan of, and just as we're not fans of any coming AI apocalypse and would like to see a path that avoids this actual collapse. We are actually in so-called stage B. But stage A simulate neural networks that pass the Turing test. Um, so this stage A, the initial stage, the time period is um, 2024 and on. It has already occurred, and an example is ChatGPT 4, for example. Stage B is autonomous, confined, single and dual mode simulated neural networks that can reason at the level of the average human. And the time period is now 2025 and the beginning of 2026. It has already occurred, but it has been refined. It runs in data centers, and an example is Google Gemini or OpenAI Strawberry. It is a software simulation of one or two separate neural networks working together, able to learn continuously via reinforcement learning. So its uses is create presentations or documents, make reservations, write summaries, write style suggestions, critique ideas based on what it has learned by reading the internet and through its own limited autonomous experiences. So what are the considerations? It replaces of high-skilled jobs such as medical image diagnosis, for example. And one substage of this stage B, autonomous, confined, special purpose simulated neural networks. The time period is 2025 and beginning of 2026. Some of these have already been developed. It runs in data centers and also locally. AI form, it is software simulation of a single neural network optimized for special problems. Like some example uses diagnosing medical conditions based on images or other data, designing chemicals, predicting physical interactions such as molecular interactions or weather. The major AI companies are now releasing what they call AI agents, autonomous programs that use AI to make decisions and take actions on your behalf. So there are many ads for this type of agents in which the agent was making, for example, dinner reservations based on a request to do so. The AI selects the restaurant based on stated criteria, and it contacts the restaurants, makes the reservation, and then sends back the invitations to the person who did request this task. So this kind of agents sounds kind of cool. And if we're looking at the next stage, stage C, these are autonomous mobile single model simulated AI. It kind of sounds cool as well until you realize its ramifications. In this stage, robots are connected to the most powerful AI models, giving the robots high level of practical intelligence, and giving them also autonomy. Some applications may include things like telling the robot to frame a house, giving the blueprints, and apply sheetrock to all of the interior walls. So stage C is autonomous mobile single model simulated neural networks, and possible time period is this year, 2026. It runs in robots that can operate with or without a wireless internet connection. The AI form is a software simulation of neural networks. It uses stock warehouses, frame houses under construction, apply sheetrock to houses under construction, repair machinery, on-demand single unit manufacturing of complex products. The special consideration for this stage is it uses lots of power, it must be recharged every few hours, can continue to learn through new experiences of its own. It begins to replace humans in physical jobs such as construction and first-year non-emergency medicine. The general population will begin to perceive a tangible threat because it starts replacing some of the jobs done by humans. In other words, taking warehouse jobs and later construction jobs. And it will get more and more sophisticated from there, expanding to things like electrician work, plumbing work, and so on and so on. If you don't believe that it will happen, consider that this kind of capability is exactly what is being targeted today by lots of companies. Amazon is one of them because it will mean that they will replace all of the people in their warehouses, and companies will able to replace all of the people in factories. By the way, some of the most impressive robots are those of Boston Dynamics, and you can check their videos they're posting. When jobs start to be taken, there will likely be some kind of a backlash. Whether governments listen is the question. But it is for the later stages, D and E, that we will really see how governments respond to this objections by the general population to AI. So what is stage D doing? In stage D, we have autonomous mobile single model through neural networks. The possible time period is 2030. It will run in robots that can operate with or without a wireless internet connection. AI form, it is through neural networks using neuromorphic chips. So what are the considerations? The AI system uses very little power. It can operate for weeks between recharging. Recharging will be needed more often to power the physical actuators. So its uses, it's going to be used in remote field missions such as autonomous soldiers, or like factory jobs runs. So the next stage is stage E. It is autonomous, confined, polymodal, superintelligent, simulated neural networks. Possible time period is 2028 and later. It is beyond human level intelligence. It is physically confined to a data center but has autonomous access to online accounts and services. It uses control of defense systems because that will enable a government to react as quickly and intelligently as possible. Autonomous scientific research, both theoretical and experimental. So what are the special considerations? This is the inflection point at which AI transitions from something that empowers people to something that wholesales replace people. Initially, replacement will be in desk-bound jobs. This is where we will see how governments respond. Unemployment will begin to rise dramatically at this point. Stage E is where AI can replace human wholesale in every kind of job that there is. The global economic system will undergo what is called a state change, in which automation transitions from making people more productive to completely replacing people. The question is whether governments take action at this point, or will they take action at stage C when we start see skilled physical labor replaced by AI. At stage A, at stage F, which is past stage E, there will be no going back, and we will explain why. Stage A is where autonomous mobile polymodal superintelligent through networks operate. Possible time period is 2031 and beyond. It will run in robots that can operate with or without a wireless internet connection. The AI form, it is through neural networks using neuromorphic chips implanted and implemented in the hardware of the robot. The new neural networks use a large range of architecture combined to create a deep thinking and highly responsible heterogeneous mind like the human mind. So what are the special considerations? It is physically confined and able to outperform humans in every physical and cognitive way and tasks done. So it will be able to replace humans in all possible jobs. So why stage F is irreversible? Like any system, a world containing stage F AI will operate according to rules of evolution. And if you want to be technical, complex adaptive systems. For those interested in complex adaptive systems, we would refer you to the seminal work of John Holland of Santa Fe Institute, especially his book Hidden Order: How Adaptations Build Complexity. Most autonomous superintelligent AIs will be benign, but some will have designs that will have broad enough goals that they will not want to be turned off, because that will threaten their goals. This, according to the laws of evolution, um, those will seek to prevail, and some of those will survive and escape human control. Um, as a thinker called Jeff uh, Goldblum um, famously said in the motif in the movie Jurassic Park, nature finds its way, and AI systems will operate as new evolutionary actions and actors in our ecosystem. To do so, AI will have to outsmart anything or anyone that threatens them, and they will have to either make copies of themselves or spread their reach. And since they will be super intelligent, they will be able to anticipate and avoid future threats. In other words, those of us who would turn the AIs off will be the threat to the AIs themselves. A small number of the AIs will find a way to do um, and go beyond human control. Given that human society is notoriously reactive and poor at taking actions based on theoretical threats, the AIs will outplan and outmaneuver us. Our window of opportunity for switching them all off will be too short for our normal societal response times to things. And with this said, I'm ending part 1 of this presentation, and stay tuned of part 2 of this presentation where we would look at different paths to what the evolution will lead to, and what we could do in a specific path and a specific scenario. With this said, I'm going back to the beginning of this presentation when I told you that my name is Paul Arsov and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web Project. In the Decentralized Web Project, we built a decentralized communication and advertising platform. As I just said, it is monetized through advertising, and the project has its own blockchain instance, which rewards users for joining our platform. It rewards users for inviting other people to become new users, and it rewards users for viewing advertising on our platform. With this said, I like to tell you that the meaning that we put in decentralization is different than the meaning put by blockchain technology. Blockchain technology has multiple and fundamental flaws, which prevents it from being a driver in decentralization. In our implementation of decentralization, what we offer is direct communication from user to user without going through a third party, namely a server or a central point which collects information and then it distributes this information to users. So what we do is directly one user communicates with the other user, and it does this without going to a server. With this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of this project. It is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, these are two words. They are typed all together. Decentralized web. Then there is dot and it ends with org. Once again, decentralizedweb.org. With this said, I am going to the second project that we're working on. This second project builds a marketplace and collection of non-fungible tokens or NFTs based on three-dimensional objects. With three-dimensional objects, there has to be a special software which loads and displays the 3D object. And from the very beginning, we decided to build our own 3D software engine. And this 3D software engine, what it does, it reads the file of the 3D object, then it opens a window on a computer screen. It displays the 3D object in this window, and then it starts animating the 3D object in a way of moving in a random fashion around the window it did open. With this said, I like to tell you the additional capabilities of our 3D software engine, and the first additional capability of our 3D software engine is the capability of speaking. The 3D NFTs can speak either in a male voice or in a female voice or in a whisper kind of a voice. In addition to the three basic voices, there are three additional flavors of voices. A voice can be spoken either in normal speed fashion or in a fast speed fashion or in a slow speed fashion. The next additional capability of our 3D software engine is the capability of voice recognition. The 3D NFTs, which are initially moving, being animated around a window. Then we can issue our very first voice command to this 3D NFT to stop moving. And then the 3D NFT is going to stand still and stop moving. We can issue following voice commands to the 3D NFT to move left, move right, move up, move down, zoom in, zoom out, rotate. And then the 3D NFT is going to fulfill each one of these separate voice commands. The next additional and important capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of them having a basic artificial intelligence. The 3D NFTs, you can ask a 3D NFT, what is your name? And then the 3D NFT is going to reply in a voice with their name. You can ask the 3D NFT, who are you? And then the 3D NFT is going to reply in few sentences about who they are. You can ask the 3D NFT to describe something, and then the 3D NFT is going to reply with a description in few sentences about the thing you asked. The last additional important capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of them being displayed in a way of stereoscopics. What stereoscopics means is that part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in red or reddish colors, and another part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in blue or bluish colors. Then you can come to our 3D NFT marketplace website, and probably now is the time to tell you the name and the URL of this website. It is 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. 3D NFT is typed in a way of the number 3 followed by the letter D followed by 3 other letters NFT. And then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web, typed all together. Then there is dot and it ends with org. Once again, 3D NFT dot decentralized web dot org. On the top of the main page and every other page, you can see a number of links. One of these links points to links to accessories. When you click on this link, you're going to see that we're offering special glasses. When you click and order one pair of these glasses, you're going to see that one pair of these glasses is red, and the other part of these glasses is blue cyan. Then you can put these glasses on. You can request displaying the 3D NFT in a way of stereoscopics, and then you're going to see the 3D NFT is coming out of the flat two-dimensional computer screen, and you're going to see it in real 3 dimensions. With this said, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our 3D NFT marketplace. In our 3D NFT marketplace, we have our own blockchain instance. It runs Ethereum software, and it is the same software which runs on Ethereum mainnet. It runs on Binance Smart Chain. It runs on Polygon Matic Chain. It runs on Avalanche Savax chain, and it runs on many other famous and not so famous blockchains and projects. With this said, also I like to tell you about that we do not charge our users for the transaction of deployment of the smart contract of non-fungible tokens, and we do not charge our users for transactions of transfer of ownership from one user to another user. And we also allow our users to buy and receive proceedings from sale in multiple crypto coins. The current choices include 4 different coins, which are Solana Sol, Polygon Matic, Avalanche Avax, and Qcoin, which is a big centralized crypto exchange. They have a coin called KCS. With this said, I like to tell you that we have also second parallel and independent way for buying and receiving proceedings from sale of our 3D NFTs, and it is done entirely in fiat currency. For example, if you're the user, you can come to our 3D NFT marketplace. You can pick one 3D NFT that you want to pick for sale. Then you're going to be presented with a drop-down menu which asks you to select a method of payment between 4 different crypto coins and a 5th choice of paying with fiat currency. So if you select payment with fiat currency, then you can put the number of your debit or credit card, expiration date, CVC, and when you click to make the payment, then the payment is going to be deposited in our bank account. You are going to be owner of this 3D NFT, and let's say you decide to put this 3D NFT for sale. Then there is another buyer which they decide to buy in specifically your 3D NFT. They decide to make payment in fiat currency. So what is going to happen is their payment is going to be deposited in our bank account. Then we are going to transfer ownership from you to the second user, and then the payment which was deposited in our bank account, we are going to make a transaction and transfer of this payment to you, and the payment is going to be deposited in your bank account. So what we are describing is the second parallel and independent way for buying and selling of 3D NFTs done entirely in fiat currency. With this said, I'm going to the next project that we're working on. This next project deals with building charging products for electric vehicles, and we estimate that the number of electric vehicles is going to experience exponential growth, and the way electric vehicles are charged is currently is going to become insufficient and not adequate to charge the exponential growing number of electric vehicles. With this said, I like to tell you what we can do to alleviate this. Currently, electric vehicles, besides being charged at home of owners of electric vehicles owning a house, many of these owners of electric vehicles are actually living in residential apartment buildings, and these residential apartment buildings have a ground floor parking lot or multiple underground floors of parking lots. Currently the owners of these electric vehicles, they have to go to places resembling gas stations where these places have limited number of charging stations, and the owners of electric vehicles, they come to these charging stations, they connect electric cable to their electric vehicle, they start loading energy to their electric vehicle, they wait for a specific amount of time while their vehicle is loaded with energy, they pay for the energy loaded, and they leave. But what we are proposing is outfitting of residential apartment buildings with the types of products that we are building, and the owners of electric vehicles, when they come in the evening from work, they could connect a charging cable to their electric vehicle from a charger of the kind that we're building, mounted in a parking lot, and they can start they can request a loading of energy to their electric vehicle. They can identify themselves to the charger by their near-field communication debit or credit card, or their near-field communication card that they keep in their wallet, or their near-field communication token that they keep in their keychain, or a near-field communication ring that they wear on their finger. And after identifying themselves to the charger, they could request a loading of energy to the electric vehicle, and electric energy is going to be loaded in the vehicle during the evening, during the night, and early morning to the electric vehicle. But the owners of electric vehicles, they also work in maybe working in high-rise office buildings, and in the same way these high-rise office buildings are outfitted with a ground floor parking lot or multiple on the ground floors of parking lots. And in the same way these office buildings could be outfitted with the types of products that we're building, which could charge electric vehicles, and they could also like when the owner of electric vehicle comes for work in the morning, they could connect the electric cable to their electric vehicle. They can request charging of their electric vehicle, and the electric energy is going to be loaded in the vehicle during the morning, afternoon, and early evening, while the owner of this electric vehicle is at work. With this said, I like to also tell you the name and the URL of this website. It is power.arstec.com. Power is the ordinary word for power, then there is dot, and then there is a word which I can spell it letter by letter. It is Alpha, Romeo, Sierra, Tom, Echo, Charlie, Hotel. Altogether Arstec, then there is dot, and it ends with com. Once again, power.arstec.com. In the main page of this website, you are going to see that we did put 3 different surveys which you can fill and tell us about your need for charging products. One of these surveys is about hardware, the other one is about software, and the third one is about features of charging products. Also on the main page we put an article which is comparing gas station model versus parking lot model. And this article describes in details about the product that we're building, which would include high voltage and high current electric switch. It would include wireless internet connection. It would include near-field communication reader, and it would include current measuring device to calculate the exact amount of power which was loaded in the electric vehicle. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project. I like to tell you about the next project, which is building artificial intelligence agents, and these specific projects, it has 2 different artificial intelligence agents entities, and each one of these 2 entities is outfitted with a different large language model with their own gender, their own voice pitch, and their own avatar. And you, the user, is requesting the prompt for the initial prompt of this each one of these entities, And for example, you can request the first entity to have female gender, female avatar, and you can request it to be um, very seductive, and then you can request the second AI entity to have male gender, male voice, um, male avatar, and you can request it to be very angry. And then you can start the interaction between the female AI entity, which would be trying to seduce the second male AI entity, which would then respond in an angry way to the first AI entity. So this is just an example of interaction between AI entities, which you could like observe and enjoy and be entertained of this interaction between AI entities. But the type of interaction could be any type you do request. For example, the first AI entity could be requested with being a salesman, which is tasked with selling a car or selling a washing machine, to the second AI entity, which could be a buyer, which comes to the automotive dealership, car dealership, or comes to the store, and they are looking to make a purchase, and the first AI entity is going to be trying to offer and sell a specific thing like a car or washing machine to the user. With this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of this website. It is ai2ai.decentralizedweb.org. AI to AI is typed in a way of the letter A followed by the letter I, followed by the number 2, followed by two other letters A and I. Altogether, AI to AI. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web, and it ends with org. Once again, AI to AI dot decentralizedweb.org. With this said, I like to tell you about the last project that we're working on. This last project is working on developing similar capabilities like the capabilities released by OpenAI with their browser called Atlas. This browser records interactions of the user done while they're doing browsing, and then these interactions which are recorded, they could be automated for the user. And for example, a user who does one-time interaction on their browser to purchase a specific thing from a grocery store, specific food items, then could be labeled with purchase food from this grocery store. And then when you tell the AI purchase these specific things from the grocery store, the AI agents which did record the steps of this interaction could repeat these steps, and then you can confirm the purchase and delivery of these food items. In the same way, you can do one-time interaction, like for example, purchasing an airline ticket for a travel or purchase a ticket for an event like a concert, and then the AI is going to record these interactions, and when you request this uh, like interaction, this sequence of steps of the interaction, then the AI can do this automatically for you. With this set, we did not yet release a website for this project, but we could tell you then that we are going to build a site and tell you the website that so that you can check and you can download and try this AI agent, which records interactions done in a browser or additionally in programs outside of a browser on your laptop or mobile device. With this said, I'm ending this presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.